Hey Virgo, welcome home. Welcome back to this sacred space where truth finds you exactly when your heart is ready to hear it. Virgo, please, I need you to stop scrolling for just a moment because what is coming through right now, what the universe is pressing into my spirit to deliver to you, it is going to shift something inside your chest. It is going to make your hands tremble and your eyes sting with tears you did not know you were still holding back. Because someone, Virgo, someone very specific, someone whose energy has been tangled up in your own for lifetimes, is about to make a choice. And it is not just any choice, it is the choice, the kind of choice that rewrites everything, the kind of choice that burns bridges behind them, not out of anger, but out of devotion. They are walking away from everything else, Virgo. Everything. For you, I know that sounds impossible. I know that sounds like something you have dreamed about in the quiet hours of the night and then dismissed as fantasy. But I need you to listen to me, really listen, because this is divine love speaking directly to your soul right now. But before we go deeper, before I pull back the veil completely on who this person is and what they are about to do, I need you to do something with me. If you feel this message vibrating in your chest, if your heart is already beating faster, if you know in the deepest part of your being that you were guided to this message for a reason, hit that like button. Subscribe to this channel, Virgo, because this is more than content. This is your spiritual compass. This is where the universe delivers the truths your heart has been whispering for. And drop a comment, even just the word ready, so that we seal this energetic circle around you. This is not just engagement, Virgo. This is a ritual. This is you telling the cosmos that your heart is open, that you are prepared to receive, and that you are done settling for crumbs when an entire feast is being prepared for you. Okay? Let us continue. Um, okay. So I am tuning in right now, and the energy is so intense I can barely hold it steady. There is someone, Virgo, and they have been on your mind more than you want to admit. Maybe you have been trying to forget them. Maybe you have been telling yourself that it is over, that they chose something else, someone else, some life that does not include you. Maybe you have been pouring all your focus into your work, your growth, your healing, convincing yourself that if they really wanted you, they would have been here by now. But oh, Virgo, the universe is laughing at that limited thinking right now. Because what you perceived as rejection, what you interpreted as them not choosing you, was never about you at all. It was about them. It was about the prison they were standing in, the chains they could not yet see, the obligations and fears that wrapped around their ankles like vines while their heart screamed your name. I am seeing their energy so clearly right now, it is almost overwhelming. This person, they have been fighting battles you know nothing about. They have been standing in rooms filled with people who drained them, committed to situations that suffocated them, tied to versions of themselves that they outgrew years ago but were too afraid to leave behind. And Virgo, here is what Spirit is showing me that is going to make your breath catch in your throat. This person has been watching you, not in a creepy way, not in a superficial way, but with the kind of soul seeing that happens when two spirits recognize each other across distance and time. They have been watching you rise. They have been watching you heal. They have been watching you become this magnetic, radiant, unstoppable force of nature. And every time they saw you shining, something inside them cracked open wider. Because you, Virgo, you became their mirror. You became the living proof that a different life is possible, that love does not have to be heavy, that partnership does not have to be sacrifice, that someone can be both their home and their freedom. And I am getting chills because what is coming through so strongly is that this person has reached their breaking point. Not a breaking point of destruction, but a breaking point of awakening. The kind of moment where you are driving home at 2 in the morning, or you are standing in the shower, or you are staring at the ceiling in the dark, and suddenly the truth descends on you with such force that you cannot unsee it anymore. And the truth is this: they cannot build a life that does not include you. They cannot pretend anymore. They cannot keep pouring their energy into people and places and commitments that feel like quicksand when the thought of you feels like oxygen. They are done, Virgo. They are walking away from everything else. The situations that bound them, the people who demanded their loyalty but never earned it, the fears that kept them paralyzed, the old identity that required them to stay small, stay available, stay trapped in a narrative that was never written for their highest good. Now, let me tell you who this person is, because Spirit is giving me details and your soul is going to recognize every single one. This is someone who carries a very specific energy. They are not weak, Virgo. Do not mistake their delay for weakness. They are actually incredibly strong, incredibly capable, someone who has built things, who has survived things, who has a reputation for being reliable, maybe even stoic. People depend on them. People look up to them. And that is part of what made this so difficult for them. They have been holding up structures that were never theirs to hold. They have been the anchor for people who were content to let them drown. And for the longest time, they believed that walking away from those responsibilities made them a bad person, a selfish person, a failure. They have been marinated in guilt, Virgo, guilt that was planted in them by people who benefited from their compliance. And so they stayed. They stayed in situations that dimmed them. They stayed connected to people who took and never poured back. They stayed in a version of love or a version of life that felt like a cage with golden bars. But here is what changed. Here is what the universe orchestrated behind the scenes while you were crying yourself to sleep, wondering why they would not just choose you. They had to see something. They had to experience a loss, a betrayal, a moment of clarity so sharp it cut through every illusion they had been clinging to. Maybe it was a conversation where someone they trusted showed their true colors. Maybe it was a health scare that reminded them life is too short to live for other people's expectations. Maybe it was simply the accumulation of too many nights feeling lonely while surrounded by people who claimed to love them. Whatever it was, Virgo, it broke the spell. And in that broken open place, they finally asked themselves the question they had been running from: what do I actually want? Not what do I owe, not what is expected, not what is safe. What do I want? And your name, your face, your energy, it flooded in like a tidal wave. It was not even a contest. Every other option turned to ash in comparison. I am hearing that this person is connected to you through work or through a shared community or through some kind of creative or spiritual path. There is a thread that has never been fully severed, even if you have gone no contact, even if you have tried to move on. And Spirit is showing me that they have been finding excuses to keep that thread alive. Maybe they still check your social media. Maybe they still ask mutual acquaintances about you in ways that seem casual but are anything but. Maybe they still show up in places where they know you might be, pretending it is coincidence, when really their soul is navigating them toward you like a compass needle finding true north. They have been orbiting you, Virgo, even when you could not feel it, even when it looked like silence. And now they are preparing. They are walking away from everything else, and that is not a metaphor. I am seeing them literally dismantling their old life. Conversations are happening that you do not know about yet. Boundaries are being drawn that are shocking the people around them. They are saying no for the first time in years. They are reclaiming their time, their space, their future, and every step they take away from their old reality is a step toward you. It is terrifying for them, Virgo. Do not think this is easy. They are losing people who will call them cruel, selfish, ungrateful. They are walking away from investments of time and energy that they once believed defined their worth. They are stepping into a void, trusting that what waits on the other side is worth the terror of free fall. And what waits, Virgo, is you. Is the life you two were always meant to build together. Let me go deeper because I want you to understand exactly what they have been walking away from so you understand the magnitude of this choice. There is someone else, or there was someone else, or there was a situation that functioned like a third party. This could be a romantic partner they outgrew, a family system that demanded their enmeshment, a friend group that fed off their energy, or even a career or lifestyle that consumed them completely. And this entity, this attachment, it did not want to let them go. It pulled at them with guilt, with obligation, with fear. It whispered that they would be alone, that they would fail, that they were making the biggest mistake of their life. And for a while, those whispers worked. They hesitated. They pulled back from you. They went quiet when you needed them to speak. They chose the familiar prison over the unknown freedom because at least the prison had walls they understood. But Virgo, you changed the game without even trying. Your absence became a teacher. Your silence became a mirror. Every time they reached for you and found distance, it clarified something. Every time they imagined their future and saw your face missing, it hollowed them out. They realized that the life they were fighting to preserve was a life without color, without resonance, without the specific frequency that only you bring. And that realization became unbearable. It became heavier than all the guilt combined. Because at the end of the day, Virgo, they would rather lose everything else and have you than have everything else and lose you. That is the truth that is driving them right now. That is the engine behind every hard conversation, every boundary, every terrifying step into the unknown. And I need you to hear this, Virgo, because I know your mind. I know how you think. You are already wondering if you can trust this. You are already preparing for disappointment, telling yourself that people do not really change, that if they wanted to choose you, they would have done it by now, that this is probably just another cycle of hope followed by silence. But Spirit is grabbing me by the shoulders right now and saying, no, this is different. This is not the same loop. This is not the same person who made promises with empty hands. Something fundamental has shifted in their energy. They are not the same soul who hesitated. They have been through a crucible. They have burned in their own denial until the only thing left was truth. and that truth is you. I am seeing them reaching out to you, Virgo, and when they do, it is not going to be casual. It is not going to be a text at midnight that says, "Hey, been thinking about you." No, this is going to be vulnerable in a way that terrifies them. This is going to be them laying everything on the line, risking their pride, risking your rejection, risking the exposure of a heart they have kept guarded for so long. They are going to tell you that they have walked away from everything else. They are going to tell you that you are the only place their heart feels at peace. They are going to ask you, not demand, not assume, but ask if there is still space for them in your life. And Virgo, when this happens, you need to be ready. Not ready to punish them, not ready to make them grovel or prove themselves for months while you hold your heart hostage. Ready to feel. Ready to decide from your highest self, not from your wounded self. Because here is what the universe is revealing about your energy right now. You have been doing the work, Virgo. You have been healing, growing, becoming so whole within yourself that you no longer need anyone to complete you. And that is exactly why this is happening now. This person is not coming to save you. They are not coming to fill a hole. They are coming to meet you in your wholeness. They are coming to add to a life you have already built with your own two hands. And that changes everything. That makes this partnership possible in a way it never was before. Because in the past, there was imbalance. There was you giving too much, waiting too long, hoping too hard while they remained half present. But now you are the standard. Now you are the throne they must approach with reverence. And they know it, they feel it. They are not coming to you as a savior or a project or a convenience. They are coming to you as a choice, a conscious, deliberate, irreversible choice. Let me tell you what this reunion is going to look like, because Spirit is painting it so vividly I can almost touch it. There is going to be a conversation or a series of conversations where the walls come down completely. This person is going to be more honest with you than they have ever been with anyone. They are going to show you the parts of themselves they hid before, the fear, the insecurity, the regret. They are going to admit that they were lost, that they prioritized the wrong things, that they let their own cowardice damage something precious. And Virgo, it is going to be tempting to armor up. It is going to be tempting to say, you should have known better, or you had your chance. But I am being guided to tell you that forgiveness is not weakness here. Forgiveness is power. Forgiveness is you choosing your own peace over the satisfaction of being right. You do not have to forget what happened. You do not have to pretend the waiting did not hurt. But you do have to ask yourself, does this person in front of me now match the vibration I am holding? Are they showing up with actions, not just words? Is their energy open, accountable, and directed toward building something real? Because if the answer is yes, Virgo, then holding on to the past is only punishing your own future. I am also seeing that this is going to move faster than you expect once it begins. This person, once they commit to walking away from everything else, they do not do it halfway. They are going to want to build with you. They are going to want to merge their life with yours in tangible ways. I am hearing words like move, live together, build, future. They are not interested in dating casually or keeping things undefined. They have wasted too much time in ambiguity. They want the real thing. They want to wake up next to you. They want to share the mundane and the magnificent. They want to be the person who brings you coffee in the morning and holds you when the world feels heavy. And Virgo, if I am being honest, part of you has been terrified of exactly this. Not because you do not want it, but because you want it so badly that the possibility of it actually happening feels like a dream you are afraid to believe in. But the universe is saying, believe it. Believe it because you earned it. Believe it because this is not luck. This is alignment. This is the result of every night you chose yourself over their absence. Every boundary you enforced, every tear you cried, and every scar you turned into strength. You became the kind of person who attracts this level of devotion by becoming devoted to yourself first. And now the universe is mirroring that back to you in human form. Now, let me address the shadows, because I would not be doing my job if I only painted the rainbow and ignored the storm that sometimes comes before it. When this person walks away from everything else, there is going to be fallout. There are going to be people who do not want to let them go gracefully. There may be drama, accusations, attempts to pull them back into their old orbit, and those energies, if you are not careful, can infiltrate your new beginning. So here is what you need to do, Virgo, to protect what is being built. First, you must be a fortress, not a doormat. You can be compassionate about their past without becoming entangled in it. You do not need to fix their messes. You do not need to prove yourself to the people they are leaving behind. Your only job is to hold your energy steady and let them handle their own transitions. Second, do not let their past become your insecurity. Do not obsess over who they were with, what they did, why it took them so long. The past is a teacher, not a residence. Every time you feel the urge to interrogate them or compare yourself to what came before, return to the present moment and ask, are they choosing me today? Are they showing up today? That is the only relevant question. Third, and this is crucial, maintain your independence even as you merge. Do not abandon your friends, your passions, your routines, your spiritual practices just because love has arrived. The strongest partnerships are between two whole people who choose each other daily, not two halves who lose themselves in the fusion. This person is walking away from everything else for you, Virgo, but you must never make them your everything. You must remain your own sun, and let them be the moon that reflects your light while shining with their own. That is the only way this works long term. That is the only way you avoid the codependency that destroyed their past and could poison your future. And finally, trust the timing. Trust that even if there are delays, even if the logistics get complicated, even if the people they are leaving behind throw tantrums, the universe is handling the details. Your job is to stay open, to stay aligned, and to keep your heart in a state of readiness without desperation. There is a huge difference between being ready and being needy. Ready is magnetic. Needy is repelling. And Virgo, you are magnetic as hell right now. I want to leave you with this image because it is burning in my mind and I know it is meant for you. I see two paths that have been running parallel for a very long time, separated by a thin line of forest, of misunderstanding, of timing that was never quite right. And on one path, you have been walking with your head held high, collecting wisdom, building your inner temple, becoming more yourself with every step. And on the other path, this person has been walking too, but they kept getting pulled into detours, into thickets, into caves that slowed them down. But now they have hacked their way through the final thicket. They have dropped every burden that was slowing their stride, and they are sprinting toward the place where your paths converge. And when they reach you, Virgo, they are not going to be out of breath and begging. They are going to be clear-eyed and certain. They are going to look at you and say, I want to live with you. I am walking away from everything else for you. You are my home. You have always been my home. I was just lost in rooms that looked like one. And you, Virgo, you are going to feel something you have not let yourself feel in a very long time. You are going to feel safe enough to soften. You are going to feel seen enough to shine even brighter. You are going to realize that all the nights you spent wondering if love like this was real, if devotion like this existed, if someone would ever choose you with the same ferocity you choose others, those nights were not wasted. They were preparation. They were the furnace that forged you into the person capable of holding this level of love without breaking. So here is what I need you to do right now. Close your eyes for just a moment. Even if you are driving or working, just do this in your mind. Visualize this person walking toward you, but more importantly, visualize yourself standing firm in your worth. See yourself not grasping, not chasing, not begging, but simply receiving. Because you are worthy of being chosen, Virgo. You are worthy of someone burning their old life down, not to destroy it, but to clear the land for what you will build together. You are worthy of a love that does not hesitate, does not hide, does not keep you as a secret or an option. Drop a comment below and tell me you are ready. Tell the universe you are no longer available for half loves, for almosts, for maybes. Declare that your heart is open to the kind of partnership that elevates you, that mirrors your integrity, that meets you in the depths and rises with you into the light. And Virgo, trust me when I say this. While you have been healing, while you have been becoming, while you have been wondering if you were forgotten, this person has been waking up. And their awakening is going to collide with your readiness in a way that creates something neither of you could have built alone. Hold your head high. Keep your heart open, but your standards higher. The love you have been praying for is not coming. It is already on its way. And the person bringing it is leaving everything else behind because they finally understand what you have known all along. There is no life worth living that does not include you in it. Welcome them when they arrive, not with the wounded child who was abandoned, but with the sovereign queen or king who knows that their presence is a privilege, not a necessity. Because that, Virgo, that energy of complete, unshakable self-worth is what turns a reunion into a revolution. It is what turns two separate healing journeys into one unstoppable force of love. I am sending you so much light right now, so much protection, so much confirmation that what you feel in your gut is real. Trust it, trust them, but more importantly, trust yourself. Because you have never been more ready than you are right now, and they have never been more certain than they are in this moment. The convergence is happening. The old chapters are closing, and the story of you two truly together is about to begin. I love you, Virgo. I will see you in the next message. Stay blessed.